Welcome to Home of Politics, ladies and gentlemen. I appreciate you so much for tuning in. Welcome all new subscribers, returning viewers, everybody who is making a success to the growth of this channel. Feel so much appreciated. Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, the Deputy President, Honorable Rigathi Gachagua, has publicly announced that he is going to look for the former President of Kenya, Uhuru Kenyatta, in order to reconcile with him and to make peace with the unity of Mount Kenya region or Mount Kenya politics. This has just left us shocked because this Rigathi Gachagua was the same person who was going around creating a lot of enmity between the people of Mount Kenya and other Kenyans with Uhuru Kenyatta for him being so close to Raila Amolo Odinga. He also criticized his act of persecuting Rigathi Gachagua, and he said he was persecuted only because he opted to support William Samoei Ruto during his campaign, and he did not want any relationship with Uhuru Kenyatta because of those reasons. But it has reached a time whereby he himself is deciding to go to look for this former president in order for the unison of Mount Kenya politics. We don't know what has made him to make a U-turn, but according to many reasons that are just existing, now it shows clearly that Rigathi Gachagua in his politics in Mount Kenya region, he cannot survive without Uhuru Kenyatta's support, because as much as he had his personal differences with Uhuru Kenyatta, the locals of Mount Kenya region still obeys and adores Uhuru Kenyatta as their leader who led Kenya very well, and they cannot run away from the truth that Uhuru Kenyatta was their leader. Ladies and gentlemen, why do you think this leader has just made a U-turn to look for the former president? He is claiming that unity of Mount Kenya politics is paramount and it will exist only if he looks for Uhuru Kenyatta. But in real sense, the fact remains that Rigathi Gachagua has realized that in order for him to become a key figure in politics of Mount Kenya region, he must unite with Uhuru Kenyatta, and in turn Uhuru Kenyatta should approve him or should endorse him as the kingpin of Mount Kenya region. This is because Rigathi Gachagua is not the only leader who is from Mount Kenya region. We have so many leaders from that region who are loyal to the president who is sitting right now. And these other leaders can give him a competition because these are the leaders who are upcoming. And because Rigathi Gachagua is holding a top position in government, then he needs to look for the endorsement of this former president, because this is the only Mount Kenya former leader who can endorse a leader or nurture him to be accepted by the locals. At the same time, ladies and gentlemen, there are another reason we know that in politics there is no permanent friendship or permanent enmity. This is because politics is a game of cards whereby you can find yourself on the other side, or the other side you can find itself in government or opposition, and life will continue. For example, you see the instance of our recent President William Samoei Ruto. One time he was in the same position with the opposition leader Raila Amolo Odinga, but this time round he is in government, and this does not mean that these people will have differences forever. The same issue goes with other leaders who crossed the border from the government to the other side, and from the other side to the government. And so the issue of permanent relationship does not exist in politics. Things might change anytime soon, and for this reason Rigathi Gachagua has decided to look for friendship with the former president Uhuru Kenyatta, because even if they had enmity before in terms of other grounds, it does not mean that the enmity will exist forever. Enmity in politics is just a matter of difference in ideas and belief. But one thing that these leaders should understand, politics is a matter of winning influence, and once you are done with that, then the normal life becomes the order of the day, because they cannot grow into enmity day in day out, yet they come from the same region. And so the issue of permanent relationship, which does not exist in politics, has forced Rigathi Gachagua to go and look for the former president in order for them to have good relationship for the well-being of their locals and future politics. My good people, we know that right now Rigathi Gachagua is sensing danger that is looming, and it is being brought because of the relationship between the president and the prime cabinet secretary, who is right now the CS of foreign affairs. And we see this has given Mudavadi a lot of powers, and it has drawn him more close to power than Rigathi Gachagua, considering that some of the responsibilities that had been assigned to the deputy president have been taken away and be assigned to Mudavadi. And this is the problem that is existing right now, because President William Samoei Ruto has entrusted a lot of trust in Musalia Mudavadi, and this is bringing danger of the relationship that has been existing between President William Samoei Ruto and Rigathi Gachagua. And so for Rigathi Gachagua, it is very important for him to look for Uhuru Kenyatta, so that they can maybe form an influence or a party or a community that can oppose Mudavadi's influence, which is growing rapidly day and night. Just in case a betrayal can arise from President William Samoei Ruto, then Rigathi Gachagua can have his shoulder to lean on President William Samoei Ruto, who is from their own region. Ladies and gentlemen, you have been hearing about the Kamwene Consultative Forum, which have been pioneered by Martha Karua. This is from NAC Party. Jeremiah Kioni from the former Jubilee Party. We also have Peter Munya, among other leaders who are stirring up this forum of Kamwene. Kamwene Consultative Forum is made up of some leaders from Mount Kenya, regardless of your party or from where you are operating from, because former leaders who are in the government are in the Kamwene. We have businessmen and women who are sponsoring this growth of this union. And we know that the popularity of this Kamwene Consultative Forum is another threat to Rigathi Gachagua, because we see under the Kamwene Forum, some of the leaders are regrouping. Those who are in the government, some of them had differences, but they have found a way to reunite. And so whenever this group can find a lot of influence in Mount Kenya, then it can interfere with the politics of Rigathi Gachagua in Mount Kenya, because it can cause division. And in order for Rigathi Gachagua to counter the growth of the Kamwene meeting, then in one way or another, he must look for the former president, who is another strong leader in Jubilee, who is behind the Kamwene. So his relationship with the former president will be very important to stop this influence from attacking him. My good people, we see the primitive issue, the primitive politics of having shares in the government. This narrative was started by the Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua, and he has been specifying the issue of having shares in government because of how people voted. This means that those regions or those areas that did not vote anonymously for this government might be discriminated or should have no position in government because they did not vote well, according to Rigathi Gachagua. But this is something that has been denied yesterday by President William Samoei Ruto while he was in Nyanza, saying that that one is a primitive and divisive politics. Every Kenyan or every region deserves development regardless of whether you voted or not. There is nothing like holding shares in government. And maybe due to this denial, it is a time when Rigathi Gachagua is sensing danger, because some of the ODM and opposition leaders are very close to President William Samoei Ruto in terms of politics. And so he has seen it very well for him also to look for Uhuru Kenyatta, whom they have not been associating very closely, in order to neutralize enmity that had been existing, because all Kenyans need to live in unity. My good people, We also see that out of expectation, Rigathi Gachagua maybe has not achieved what he has been expecting, because it have been difficult for him to reign as a kingpin in Mount Kenya region, because he's facing a lot of competition from other upcoming leaders like Ndindi Nyoro, Kimani Ichung'wah, and others who are from Mount Kenya. And so his assumption of becoming the deputy president to lead him into being a kingpin of Mount Kenya region, with his enmity between him and former President Uhuru Kenyatta, is not going to succeed, because you cannot be above the pioneer leader in your region. So for him to have the popularity of being the kingpin of Mount Kenya region, he must of course bring back the good relationship between him and the former president, accord him the respect that he deserves, and from there he can be directed by this former president in order to unite the Mount Kenya region. And for him to succeed to become the kingpin of Mount Kenya, he must of course be under Uhuru Kenyatta because of their relationship and omit all the differences that were existing. My good people, we also see that according to the rule, we see the former president should be the one who is advising the president who is sitting right now. But the relationship between the former president and the sitting president has not been very good because of some reasons. But the president who is outgoing, who was the former president, this is Uhuru Kenyatta, said that he's volunteering to give advice and to direct this president on how he can handle matters affecting Kenya. But they did not show that interest of needing him in terms of advice. And now there might be a possibility that President William Samoei Ruto is hiding in Rigathi's face to go and look for Uhuru Kenyatta in order to help in advising on the matters that is affecting Kenya right now. It is not a problem for the former president to advise the government, but that shame or that issue of avoiding close contact with Uhuru Kenyatta is something that has pushed Rigathi Gachagua to look for Uhuru Kenyatta instead of President William Samoei Ruto. And so his procedure of looking for this former president in order to unite Mount Kenya region is not for the benefit of Mount Kenya region alone, but for the benefit of all Kenya, because this is a project of President William Samoei Ruto, who is pushing Rigathi Gachagua to bring close Uhuru Kenyatta to the government. My good people, this is not just an accident or something that has coincidentally happened. It has now dawned on minds of Rigathi Gachagua that he should have a new strategy, because he has calculated the future politics of coming 2027. He will have a very big competition now that we see Musalia Mudavadi has a high chance of overtaking that seat anytime from now because of the powers and the closeness that he is having to President William Samoei Ruto. We see Rigathi Gachagua, maybe he is looking for former President Uhuru Kenyatta to help him gather influence of Mount Kenya region to stop this issue of bringing in Musalia Mudavadi so much into competition in the coming future politics. In order for him to succeed, he cannot just stand himself alone during that time, because he needs the support of his local people, his former leadership in that region, in order for him to stand to stop Musalia Mudavadi from growing so much into influence. Ladies and gentlemen, if you agree with me with the analysis about the reasons why this Rigathi Gachagua has gone the extent of looking for Uhuru Kenyatta, just give me a like and continue sharing my videos. Thank you so much for your time. Have a good day.